Why, hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone who's not there. Thank you. This has been an interesting start.
Yeah, we're figuring it out. We're making it work.
Yeah, there's no portrait today. It's just landscape. So if you're seeing this and thinking, oh, they're doing two again. No. It is just one. This is just the best way to make it work.
There.
Is that crosshair on the stream?
Yes. What?
It's on, like, it's on.
Yeah.
Is it always there?
It's through my monitor.
No, I'm saying, is it on the stream? Like,
no.
Hey, what's up, Quex?
Mr. Quexicles.
All right, I got it. We're good. We're good. We can get started now.
Yeah. Can we make this bigger by chance?
What do you mean?
Because we're sitting back.
I mean, I can read it.
Okay. I'm just getting old, I guess. Let me pull in a little. There we go. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, we have some interesting stuff to talk about. We still got to do the book review too.
Yeah, we'll see if Shelly comes in because I know she wanted to do it.
Okay.
Is the audio good enough for both of us? Can you hear us both all right?
Yeah, do we sound okay?
I can't tell on mine, but
I can't either. I don't. Well, if we turn up the volume, then we're just gonna.
Yeah.
Then everybody's gonna hear it.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you're living with no AC. Like, it's hot here, and I think I would dig a hole or I'll probably dig up a coffin and, like, not to rob a grave, but
just to sleep at night.
Yeah, just to sleep in at night. They'd be like, "You're robbing a grave." No, I'm just trying to get cool for the night. But we do have some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. A lot of this was from, like, the last couple days because why is this not working? But this one was interesting. Ooh.
Yeah, just drag it
up. I don't know what this means. Hold on. Oh, you can't pause. There we go. It's paused. But this video is from Alex Jones, and they're talking about Palm Beach Pete. Apparently, he was running for governor or mayor or something.
Yeah.
And he got a DNA test, and they messaged him, and were like, "Hey, we took over the DNA test, and we are strongly advising that you do not run for governor," or whatever it was. Mayor. It was mayor of Palm Beach City. But let's go ahead and watch it.
But now it's getting a little serious. He's like, "No, it's not me. I don't think it's him."
Right.
Okay. But he has reached out to us, and he said, "Hey, real Alex Jones, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. We do a red shot of that. I would be happy to come on your show and explain this to your followers." So I think he's coming on tomorrow or the next day. Now, this is where it gets really weird. Maybe we can pull the HD of that up. I thought we had a copy of this. But here is a letter that is put out officially here. Boy, it's dark in here. And this is put out by the state of Florida, the FSE. And it is just crazy. They are saying that the state doesn't want them to release the DNA test because it's got anomalies and they have problems with it being released. When have you ever in your life heard of a government saying don't release the DNA test? Read that to people on air.
You got it. Dear Mr. Blank, the Division of Elections has been made aware of credible information that raises serious concerns about your eligibility and suitability to continue as a candidate for mayor of Palm Beach in the 2028 election. Recent DNA analysis by Blank and related inquiries have produced results and have generated extraordinary public confusion regarding your candidate identity and background. These findings call into question key aspects of your campaign and directly impact the integrity of the electoral process and public confidence in potential elected officials. The Florida Division of Elections Elections will assume full responsibility for conducting and overseeing all future analysis relating to these findings, rather than relying on independent laboratory results. We may require your participation in additional DNA collection and testing procedures as part of this official review. As state agency responsible, blah, 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 Chapter 105, Florida statutes, we strongly advise that you immediately withdraw your candidacy. Voluntary withdrawal at this stage would allow you to address these matters privately. Is he Jeffrey Epstein? While minimizing disruption to the electoral process. What is going on? They want a written response. What's your take on that?
Well, I was going to start the hour with that. That's why I was chomping the bit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm thinking like, because he doesn't look that alike to me, but like, what if he's like a twin brother or something, and they're like, you are Epstein's like twin or something.
That's what I was thinking, because like, Quack said it's him. I don't think he couldn't be that stupid to get his DNA tested, unless what if he did? What if he got like a full blood transfusion like they did with Magic Johnson? But I don't think that's what it is. Like, I think it's something more along the lines of what you're saying.
Yeah, like a brother or
there's some relationship there. Maybe he didn't know about it. But what's up, Olivia? That's true. Sense isn't common, but like, that was crazy to me. Then the fact, because it wasn't the government who initiated the test. He was getting it done somewhere else, and then they stepped in and were like, we're taking it from here.
Which is great.
It's wild, dude.
But I mean, I think part of that too is because of the popularity and everything. Like if he had never come out and never said this shit and became this big thing, that the state probably wouldn't be like, hey, listen, no, we need to do this DNA test.
That's like the only thing it could be, because there's nothing else. What?
And that's what I was getting at, is where like I think it was just the popularity of it all was a big part of why they stepped in, because in like politics and races and stuff, people hold nothing back. They're horrible to each other.
Yeah.
And it's something that could be as simple as his opponent or a different party is like, no, we want a DNA test just to do it, just because, not thinking anything would come of it. But
well, he's the one who got this
and gave it to the state.
No, the state just took it over.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So
like he was getting a DNA test for something.
Yeah.
And they caught wind of it and probably like, yeah, well, let's see.
Like, I don't know. Somebody said, and I thought this was interesting. Obviously, it's just a theory, but like, what if he's not Jeffrey? But what if it's something darker than that? Like he's just this clones that's walking around in case Jeff, because he was in the same area. What if he's just like this,
or it was a fall man, meant to be a fall man?
Yeah. Or a body double.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. And he doesn't know. Like Quack said, yeah, but why would him being a relative matter? I don't know. Or even, well, what about this? Because we know who Jeffrey Epstein's brother is. What if it does come out and says he's a direct relative? And then if there's it would be like, what the fuck? This guy has this brother that nobody knew about?
Yeah.
This off the books brother
that's living there, that's living near like the area, like it just.
But dude, it could be him though too, like, because
what if the one who died and went to prison, they found out wasn't Jeffrey, and if they had done the DNA test and stuff, the one in prison was the body double, and he's the real. But again, it goes into that thing. It's like it's. I know the truth is often stranger than fiction, but like still, like the gall to be like, yeah, now I'm gonna run for mayor after it. Like it just.
Well, he was definitely a brazen guy. I mean, he got away with so much, and then let's just say he is Jeffrey. Look how much he thought he's gotten away with. I'm Palm Beach Pete. He's been going on all these podcasts, if it is him. And then he's like, fuck it, I'm going to run for mayor. Like, that's how sick and fucked up he is. He's like, I'm going to run for mayor of this place because they don't even know it's me. Like,
that would be the crazy part to me, is that like.
One thing and this isn't hard evidence, but Alex did have him on the show because there's a bunch of AI stuff out there about him having the same barbed wire tattoo as Jeffrey. And Alex wanted to address that stuff. And from what I've seen, he didn't. So, I mean, but you can get tattoos removed. Like, it's not that.
Nowadays, yeah.
it's not that big of a thing, but I don't know. I just thought this was really, really fucking strange.
The whole thing has been like, I get there's like lookalikes. Like when I stream and everything, people, that's one of the biggest things they come in and say, oh, you look like this person. Oh, you look like this person. Like, I understand this lookalikes, but it's just
what do they tell you look like?
An old soccer player.
They tell me I look retarded.
Someone Ramos. They tell me I look like John Krasinski. They tell me
what?
Yeah, they come in.
You don't look Jewish at all.
But I get that. So like I understand there are lookalikes and there are it's just the whole thing seems kind of to stink a little bit.
It does.
Like it's just weird. Like
Yeah.
why all of a sudden, like, you know, maybe it is he's gotten popularity because he's a lookalike and he said, why not ride it and try to go for, you know,
This is
public office.
It's one of those things where like what they said is so fucking wild. Like you have to explain why. You came in, took over a DNA test and said we highly recommend you don't
The
run.
verbiage is weird. Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what could DNA possibly tell you? We don't let people not run because of race or anything like that. So what could it? What he has AIDS? He can't. No, we don't do that. So
Yeah.
what could a DNA test possibly have told them?
The verbiage is what sticks out to me.
Yes.
Like we which is, I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Hopefully it comes out, because it's the verbiage. It's not them even saying you can't.
Yeah.
They're saying, probably don't think this is probably not a good idea.
Yeah,
that
we
you do
highly
this.
recommend you withdraw.
So that verbiage is just super weird to me. But we'll see. Hopefully we do find out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, it does come out. But the way everything's going with, look over here, look at this shiny thing. Oh, look over here, guys. It just seems like it'll just be another.
The other thing is the Palm Beach City Police was implicated in a lot of that stuff. And like, this does show their incompetence though. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Because why would this even get out?
Yeah.
Like, you have to have known, like, when you put this out, this is going to make shit worse around here. We already have a bunch of bad publicity because this shit happened here. Now we're putting, oh, look at Shelly. She says, look at us together.
Yeah.
Look at us together. You might have to.
Ow. Oh, just had a muscle spasm.
You're fine.
Mm-hmm. Here, I got it.
Okay.
Just the next one?
Yeah, just go in order. You'll have to. So this video is Lindsey Graham. He is a closeted homosexual in our Congress, and he's going to tell us, this is his words, not mine. It's my words that he's a closeted homosexual, but he's going to tell us that to be president in 2028, you have to support Israel.
It seems that everything's trending in that direction, which is fucking crazy.
And to say it out loud.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a nominee in 2028 being the Republican nominee. If you want to run for president as a Republican in 2028 and you don't show strong support for Israel, I don't think you can win. To our friends on the Democratic side, I hope you'll up your game. I hope you'll realize that Israel's not the problem. The problem for peace is not Israel. I can't imagine a nominee in 2028 being.
So what's crazy in that is not only did he say to be the Republican nominee, you have to support Israel. He said, just in case, I need the Democrats to start supporting Israel. Like, that just shows you it's not a party thing.
No.
Like, he's this hardcore Republican war hawk. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, what I take from that is like, I'll go to the other side if they'll support Israel.
Yeah.
Like,
it's, I don't know, it just goes into that whole thing that it's like it's clearly systemic at this point. Like, it's not like a one-off thing. It's not you know, we saw what happened to Massey.
yeah.
We see, you know, him coming out and saying this, and you're seeing multiple career politicians and
then you have this side of it who will just completely attack and flip. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, if you guys can't say, no big deal. We appreciate you being here.
yeah.
Shelly, I know you were interested in the book. If you know, it helps out, we can do the book review. We could take a tactical pause, do the book review now. But yeah, and that's the crazy thing, is just how blatant they are. Like, for you to say that you can't win.
Yep.
You can't win unless you support this shitty little country that the UN just said is committing genocide. You won't win.
And they're saying the quiet part out loud now. Like, we already knew this.
Yes.
It does really seem like, yeah, you can't win.
Yeah.
But like, now that it's people are, you know, it's coming out of their own mouths, that's kind of a scary thing. Because it kind of goes into my whole thing, you know, that the fuck you gonna do about it type thing.
And this is the shit that really pisses me off, is like, this is the guy who will come on here and tell us, like, what Burchett say. He hasn't seen any it was something like any mild dispute that he doesn't want to turn into a bombing raid. Like, any argument he doesn't want to turn into a bombing raid. Like, this guy, he'll send your kids to go fight and die for Israel. But what the fuck has Lindsey Graham ever done? This is all he's ever done, is sit up here in Congress, take money from that witch over there. Like, that's it. that Israeli witch. But yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just, that's just like I just said it. Sorry.
Yeah.
No,
you're good.
I'm going over the same thing, but it's like, the scary part is now it's like beyond happening in the shadows.
Yeah.
Even though we already know it now, people are straight up coming out and saying it.
Yeah.
And it's just like it goes downhill from now, from there. But like, how do they change it? I mean, it comes down to voting people out. But as we all have seen with Massey,
it doesn't matter.
I think it's, yeah.
He lost to a candidate who never showed up to a debate. Well, has no business in politics. His only credential is being a Navy SEAL, which doesn't mean you're a good politician. It just means you were a good
soldier. Doesn't
sailor,
even mean
whatever.
you're a good person.
Yeah. And that's his only credential. And the coincidence that he took $13 million, the most money we ever seen out of congressional race, from Israel. So that just tells you, like,
Yeah.
your vote doesn't matter as much as the bucks do. Well, Shelly's only going to be here for an hour. Should we do the book review?
Yeah. Yeah.
Going forward, we'll do like just episodes on this. So it's like not in the middle of it. But
Well, like you said, maybe we'll do a standalone. It's not part of our regular thing. Because
well, do you just want to do that? We can do that like another day.
Well, I mean, she's going to be back to work.
No, I'm
Yeah, let's plan on it, because I know Shelly is, I think, maybe the only person doing it right now.
okay.
Maybe we'll do a TikTok thing, or do it on this, but it doesn't have to be an hour. It's something we can
put it out pre-recorded too.
Yeah,
if we
but
have
I think like talking would be a
Yeah.
good part, like like getting her
That
her,
works, that
her
works.
thoughts and
Well, Shelly or anybody else who's reading it, let us put us in the chat, like what day or whatever works for you, and we can figure it out.
because I think that is a good point, is making it its own thing. There we go. I got it, because we don't need to do a 2-hour episode. We don't, like, we can, you know.
Yeah. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah. No, you're the problem, Shelly. Always have been, always will be. Why does it keep opening down here?
Yeah, this shit's crazy. You gotta you have to scroll down a little bit
Yeah.
to get to the video, but this is a good one. This video is Theo Vaughn grilling Kennedy, another, closeted gay man we have in Congress, about his support for Israel. And Theo did a pretty good job. He didn't let him up. Like, you can tell Theo cares about this.
There we go. I made it so it'll share the whole screen now, which is easier.
Nice.
So we don't have to pull it down and put it back up.
I'm not reading live, guys.
Yes. But anyways, let's watch it.
That's my point of view. Tucker will have a different point of view.
Yeah.
He thinks that we're too close to Israel.
I think a lot of people, from people that I see all the time, that's the number one thing that people say. They think we're too close to a country that's created a genocide against Palestine, and then is like in conflict with these other people around them. That it seems like they're just like kind of the bullies of the area. You know, it's like it feels like they're the terrorist organization. That's what it seems like to a lot of people.
A lot of people believe that. Hamas attacked Israel, and the Israelis fight back. And they took over the Gaza Strip, and yes, a lot of Palestinians got hurt. And
Not got hurt. I mean, got killed.
Got killed and hurt, and but Hamas would hold the Gazans hostage. They would put them out front.
But how do we even know that? They killed 220
because
something.
we've seen it.
But they killed 220 something journalists that went there to document what was going on.
There's no question there have been civilian deaths.
They wouldn't let journalists in to even document what was happening there.
There have been civilian deaths, but it is primarily the fault. I'm not saying Israel is blameless. Look, war is ugly.
Yeah, but is this war?
But it is war.
You think it's war?
It is war.
They just had an article yesterday that came out from the UN. If here's some findings of the
Yes, Quex. That was one thing that stuck out to me, and it's a typical politician move.
Yep.
Is like trying to use the verbiage, "Oh, got hurt." Like, and Theo, like Jay said, was like, "What? They got killed. They didn't get hurt."
Yeah, you could tell he was getting heated.
Yeah,
Like, and he doesn't let him off the hook, and the dude's going to backpedal even more.
mission. Israel has killed 20,000 children and injured 44,000 more since October 7th, 2023. Let me see. Palestinian children have been arrested and subjected to torture and other severe forms of mistreatment in Israeli prisons. This is all part of, let me see, United Nations.
Well, first, I wouldn't believe it if it came from the UN.
Oh, really? They're not. Do you feel like they're not
No,
liable?
they're not. They're not
sorry,
objective.
reliable.
They're not objective.
Okay.
They're not objective.
Well,
Number
that's the thing.
two,
It's
number two, and I know children got killed, and it breaks your heart. Hamas kills children too. So does Hezbollah. So does Iran.
okay, but we're not talking about them right now.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, it's the old thing is like, did two wrongs make a no? It doesn't. And look, the UN is definitely not this almighty source, but like when you have all these people coming out, you know, I told, I can't remember who I told the other day, but I was like, you can find anybody from any demographic across the world almost, and they've reported on this. Like so many people have went there and reported on this from all the sides. There's been people from Israel talking about it. There's been people who were the aid workers, many of them. One was a Royal Marine from the UK. One was an SF guy from here. Like, but then the UN puts this out and it's like, oh shit, it validates what these people said.
Yeah. And
Like,
then all of a sudden, you know, oh yeah, no, UN, no. They're horrible, they're stupid, and then the whole discrediting thing will start like he did.
Yeah. And then he says kids die in war. I was like, but this is and that's the thing is like he won't acknowledge that it's any different than, and look, any kids dying is terrible, but he won't acknowledge that this is different than Hamas killing kids, which is terrible and shit. But like, is Hamas killing 20,000 kids?
It's a typical tactic of deflection.
Yeah.
And he's not even trying to hide it. He's not even good at it. He just goes, yeah, well, you know, he names off Hezbollah, Hamas, Iran. Like, dude, we're not talking about that. Like, we understand that happens there. We get it. But you're deflecting. And it's just a weak tactic. And yeah, I feel like you do see it a lot in these politicians when they think they're talking to someone that, yeah, is goofy. It may not come across, but like, it's clear as day to see that, yeah, man, you're deflecting. Like you're saying stupid shit.
And I kind of lost what I was going to say, but like, and that's the thing too, is like, we acknowledge that those things are happening too. You guys won't acknowledge that this nation that we send billions and billions of dollars to is doing worse shit, doing heinous stuff. Like, that wasn't even the darkest shit that was in that document about what they were doing to kids. Like,
yeah, he breezed right over the torture part.
Yeah,
kids are dying. That's what
like,
about torture?
and I love what Theo said. He's like, is this war? And that's kind of what I said, is like, this isn't war. Like, people, civilians die in war. Everybody knows that. Like, it's very hard. It's impossible to completely not have civilian deaths, but there's a difference between that and purposely killing civilians. Like,
you're going, and it seems like when you see the retaliations and stuff, like it's the dying thrashes of what's left there, like being Hamas and stuff, and but then you see Israel leveling cities, like, and you see like that's not and the US has been known to do that in the past, but not blatantly leveling cities. I mean, World War II, we were firebombing everything, but nowadays we're not. We don't. It's mistakes do happen for the government too, and for the army, but for the most part, we're not leveling a city.
No,
it would never be a thing. Like we talked about, churches, not like, nope.
No, you could talk to plenty of dudes who are in GWAT. Like, if they were at a mosque, a school, a hospital, you couldn't, your hands were tied. Like, even if they were, you saw a dude shooting an AK and then run in. Sucks to suck. Queck said, is that this is wiping out a race. And this is the really fucked up thing, is I'm going to bring him up again. Like, I don't hate flaming on the dude. It's actually kind of fun, but you're in travel. His thing now, and this is just what he hears and regurgitates. So it's a problem with the party above him, but like, now what they do is they say it doesn't meet the definition of a genocide. They acknowledge that this stuff is happening, but they say it doesn't meet the definition of a genocide because of whatever. X amount of people haven't been killed, or they're not all one singular race or religion. That's what they're doing now, as they're saying, well, technically it's not. It was like, well, are we worried about technicality when it's talking about this type of shit?
But they do. And that's the stupid part.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that they, because that's what they hide behind.
Yeah.
Well, technically, like, well, I mean, you can change the verbiage how you want. You can change the guidelines how you want. You can do all this, but I think it is getting to the point where people are seeing what's happening, and I'm just like, okay, you can say what you want. There's a big thing that has been going on that I've liked. Sorry, kind of feeds into it though. That about the World Cup, and it's how like heartwarming people have found it, and it's like it seems like all of us regular people are just long lost cousins, and we're struggling because our parents hate each other, so we don't get to see them.
Nope.
Like, and that kind of makes sense, and it kind of like it's the government's trying to make us hate each other, but everyone gets together and is happy. There's not fights happening. I'm sure there are, but like there's not like riots, large scale stuff going on. No, right. It's like you see it all over the US right now. It's everyone's in a great mood and just mingling, and even if they're playing each other, they're swapping jerseys, the whole nine. So it's just it goes into that where you have these, the leaders, the parents, she did this, well he did this, and we don't support them. And it's like, yeah, okay, we don't support, a lot of people don't support the Israeli government.
Right. Like, it's easy to hate people who are 3,000 miles away.
Yeah. And it leads, and it's just going to lead into the thing that we've touched on before, where you're going to start having hate crimes, and you're going to start having people that are kind of ignorant and become anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Because
they see Israel as one thing. They don't separate it in their simple minds, I would say. And so all of a sudden now they don't like Jewish people because Israel's doing some shit they don't agree with. But it's like, it's just going to lead to it.
No, that's a great, and I completely agree with that, Shelley. And another thing that frustrates me too is, and this can come off the wrong way, but that community tries to own the term genocide. Like, it is like the Armenian genocide has never been acknowledged, but it happened. and it happened, before the big one happened. But the Armenian genocide, there's other genocides that have never been acknowledged. And if you look into it, a lot of times it's, that term wasn't around like it is now, but like people have tried to get these acknowledged afterwards, and it's been like, oh, well, you're trying to take, I don't even know, like not fame, but awareness away from this one that happened.
And that too, and you argue it with like intellectuals. I've argued it with some people that are way smarter than me. Not even argued it, just mentioned it. And their thing is, oh no, you are taught that in school. I'm like, no, you're taught that if you're like a history major.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to college for this shit, yeah, then it's taught. In grade school, especially coming up when I was a kid, right? Like we weren't the only genocide we ever touched on. And not only touched on, had to do all this stuff. And I'm not saying it wasn't bad, but the only one that was taught in grade school, in high school, was World War II.
Yeah,
I
never learned about that.
Yeah, they never touched upon that. And like, oh well, if you're a history major and going into specific areas and people who read and take in things other than what the media shows, you do learn about the Road of Bones, you learn about the Bolsheviks, you learn about the Armenian, like you learn about all this other horrible shit that has happened.
Dude, that's like Japan.
Yeah.
In school, you never learn about what Japan
the Great Rape. Yeah.
Everybody knows that like they were crazy and shit, but you never learn about
said that word.
The shit that they were doing over there. But Shelley said only until the UK loses, and then you losers wreck the place. Well, in America, we what happens is it doesn't matter if we win or lose. Like these big cities like New York, they're gonna wreck it anyways.
Yep.
Like it's part of the game. Like you win, especially when
you win.
Yeah.
Then you get to have like
this city's
cars.
happy. Yeah, we're gonna torch this whole place.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their ass out and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Any comments from the viewers? I mean, Shelly, Quex, you've been going. We appreciate you guys, but we have 8 people in here right now. Thank you again for being here. But don't be afraid to voice your opinion. It doesn't matter if you agree with us. We're not going to argue with you or put you down or anything. We take it as we value it.
That's always a good standard to have, Shelly. If you just get drunk, win or lose, you'll generally be a little bit happy.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. One second, guys. But yeah. All right, what are we going to look at here?
So this is one of the dudes I was talking about, Shaman or something. Gen X said, does anyone in the U.S. actually like soccer?
But here's the kick.
And
pun intended. Here's the kick to all this. If the U.S. wins, you two specifically have to call it soccer for 2 months. Can we agree on this?
And this is Gen X. This is what we said the last show. Is if by some chance the U.S. First off, you're right. Most people in America don't like soccer, and it's just because it's not popular. But it's definitely growing. But like, if we win the World Cup, you guys can't call it football anymore. We already have
at least until the next World Cup.
Yeah, until somebody else wins, it's called soccer because we have a sport that's called football. It's way cooler. It's better. Our crowds are better. You can't call it football until the next one. That's got to be a law.
It should be.
Yeah.
Because this is a long-standing discussion / argument that we've all had. and it's kind of the nature of the beast. If the US wins in soccer, who can tell us different? We beat the world in your game.
Now they're saying you guys aren't going to win. But if we do, it's called soccer. Hey, everybody said that about hockey, too. Everybody said that about hockey.
Especially after they suspended one of our best players for a thing that he wasn't even looking at the guy for. Like, maybe FIFA doesn't want the U.S. to win because of this argument. But anyways, sorry.
You have to back it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But this guy, he's going to tell us how, we hear they're not settling. They're not settling. They're not bringing any settlers. And he's going to tell us, this is one of the guys we talked about in that documentary, who he is one of these radical Israelis who's really changed Israel in the last couple decades. But he's going to tell us, and this is their minister of finance, I believe. He's going to tell us how they are going to bring in 1 million settlers.
All right, we mute just because there's two of us. We can't use headphones right now. So if you're wondering why we're muting, we're probably laughing and talking amongst each other, but it'll come through the mic. It's, we should have, but yeah.
זה ההר ששולט גיאוגרפית וטופוגרפית על כל המרחבים האלה. ואם אנחנו לא נהיה שם, חלילה, תהיה שם בסוף חמאס שמשתלט בשנייה אחת, ראינו באיזה מהירות הוא השתלט על עזה. ובסוף כשאנחנו מקימים 103 יישובים ו160 חוות וסוללים כבישים ומתכננים ומסדירים, אנחנו רוצים להביא 1,000,000 מתיישבים ליהודה ושומרון, כדי שלא יהיו טנדרים אחר כך ברעננה, בכפר סבא, בפתח תקווה, בתל אביב, בבאר שבע ובעפולה. וזה נכון, חס וחלילה. זה ההר ששולט גיאוגרפית וטופוגרפית על כל המרחבים האלה. ואם אנחנו לא נהיה...
Also, like, does anyone have this, like, the translation, how fast is, like,
they have a limited language. They have less characters, so like it
zooms
quick.
fast. But did everyone get the gist of what was being said? Paraphrase it.
So what he's saying is they're going to bring in a million settlers. By the way, settlers, you might think that's Israelis. It's not. Settlers is outside Jews. And this has been a thing they've talked about for a long time, is they want all the Jews of the world to come back. Whatever, fine. Go back to Israel. But that's not what they're saying. They're saying, and they use these terms that they specifically use, Judea and Samaria. That's talking about the West Bank. Like, these are the areas that Israel doesn't occupy right now. We showed that video last week where the Israeli guy was talking about, we took this village and we're not stopping here. We're going to take the next one and the next one. And they go in there. Not only do they kick the people out, but they take all their shit. And that's what he's talking about. They're going to bring in 1 million settlers. 1 million settlers is not just the West Bank. Like, the West Bank isn't a huge area. You're talking, and we're going to play in the next video. It's going to kind of go into it. Is they're talking about settling Gaza too, which for the longest time, has been, we're not gonna do that. That's not the plan. Yep, that's him.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's the same cat too.
It looks like it. All right. This is good now that I'm sharing the screen. All right. Take a gander, folks.
Yeah, now imagine if you spoke German, how that would sound.
I always laugh at that because I think about it. And I think about, like, that.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time, I certainly really didn't know what, someone's speeches were and what the translation was, but you just heard it, and it kind of has this iconic sound to it. I mean, the German language does.
Yeah.
But then you would hear this and just imagine him saying it back then in German, and you'd be like, oh, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad. Like, for the longest time, I feel like so many people, when they heard Germans speak, like they just, and I think maybe that was by design.
100%
It was post-war design. It was like, oh, they're bad people. Oh, I hear that. That's you're a bad person. And so,
yeah. And just to be clear, I don't think this guy represents all the Israelis.
No.
Like, the thing I got from that documentary, and there's the book from their rabbi, who's the psycho who was running guns in America, calling for Jews to be violent. And he was kicked out of America, just like they all do. And whenever they get in trouble, they just flee back to Israel.
No legal ramifications.
Yeah, no legal ramifications for being a literal domestic terrorist. But is like this. He doesn't represent everywhere, but as you can hear from the crowds and the crowds they have, and from the
yes, a rabbi.
Yes, a rabbi. And just from the the amount of people from these interviews you see, like it's a growing majority of people. And it's like that's my thing, was like everybody's always anti-radical Muslims. It's like this is also radical.
And
like
yes, and I agree. And I think this there's the propaganda on that end too, that they're building more radical people because they're saying everyone's hating on you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they're like, oh, well, everyone hates us. Well, fuck them. Let's buy into this more now. Like, the whole world hates us. Yeah, let's screw it. Let's, especially younger minds, young gentlemen, and that are easier to manipulate and stuff. I think it's just this snowball effect that's going to start to happen. Like I said, 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, whatever. It's causing this radicalization of people all over the world on different sides of the spectrum. And it's just this more divide type stuff. But
yeah, and it's just going to get worse, like
100%,
because it doesn't get addressed.
No,
like and this has only really been a thing, I would say, for it to be mainstream, I would say the last 2 years.
Oh, for sure. That's just like, because it kind of went away. Like anti-Semitism, like, yeah, we understand it was always, but it wasn't like in your face every day.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I mean, yeah. And now all of a sudden it's just in everyone's face all the time. It's the new key term. It's the new whatever you call it, like term that gets everyone paying attention.
Yeah. It's the new like Me Too or some shit like that. Right?
Yeah.
This is a good one to tie in because James Fishback is running in Florida. He has been very, very critical of Israel because Florida has spent a lot of money to Israel, and they've been trying to tank his campaign race. They have this dude who did a debate against him on Patrick Beck Davis's podcast. And the dude's not even from Florida. He's from Montana. Like, how can, first off, that shouldn't even be legal.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not from there, and there's got to be stipulations. Like, if you've lived here 10 years, you can run. But if you just, and he gets into it here, but they've attacked this dude so hard because of what he said. And he's attacked a lot of stuff. Property tax, he's anti-property tax, he's anti-flock cameras. Like, this is one of the people who speaks for a lot of people who feel this way, and they're trying to completely steamroll him, and it's not working at all.
To the 1,900 employers in Florida right now who are using H-1B foreign labor, I am warning you once and for all. Fire your foreign workers, hire back qualified Floridians, or you will face the ultimate wrath of the state of Florida. We must put our workers front of the line.
Once a year, we host a conference called the Vault Conference. This year, for the first time, we're
now it's just going to be Patrick Beck Davis promoting some shit. But what he was saying there is good, and I agree with it, because like he said, 1,900 employers are using H-1B employees in Florida. That's crazy.
Oh, sorry guys, but like, and that's the cancer of money. I think so much.
Are we still muted?
No, we shouldn't be. I think
okay.
You did at the very start. You were muted,
my bad.
But
my bad.
I think that's kind of the cancer, and I understand, like, there's a good side to capitalism that helped build our country, but now I think it's become greed, and everything else has become a cancer. So these companies, this is why they left America. This is why this all happened. This is why we outsource. This is why, because they can make more money on the product, plain and simple. We can send it here, get it built cheaper. Doesn't matter if it's built in America. You know, that's starting to come back, which is good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are supporting built in America, but there's still there's still a gray zone in that, because they assemble it in America. Everything else is built outside of America.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I like Harley, but they're kind of a culprit of it. A lot of their individual things are all made out of the country. The bike is made in America because, you know, it's assembled here, but there's still so much that they are pulling from out. And it's all profit margins. That's all they see. How can I make more money? How can I make more money? I can, you know, do this and that. And it goes into, you know, the girls were just at, you know, Walmart. But like now, supposedly Walmart is doing this, like, and you see it even. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but you go to check out and it automatically pops up. Oh, do you want this sent to your phone? And it's like, I don't have a Walmart account.
Yeah.
I don't have it. Like how
do
and
you
it
know?
gives my number. And it goes into the talk that people are saying, like Walmart's going to start area pricing and or people. Like there's cameras and the price tags will supposedly be able to change when they, you know, see your phone coming or see you coming.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I'm against the H-1B thing just because it's an excuse for employers to pay less money. Like, I'm all for immigrants being able to have a job, but the H-1B thing doesn't benefit the immigrants because they're making less money. And if there's people here, and the excuse is always, well, this job requires cheap labor, whatever, farms, or no, pay people who live here the money they want. Or like we've said in the past, if it's really something like that, fine, then use it for reform. Use it for prisoners or whatever, like that. You might think that sounds fucked up, but like, is it better than just sitting in a prison cell? Like, Louisiana has boxing matches in their prisons, like sanctioned boxing matches between prisons. So we can't send people to work camps? Like, why?
And well, like I me and Quex have a mutual friend, no names or anything, but great dude. But he from younger years, he decided to clear his name and went to prison pretty much. But like,
Yeah.
I think it was one of the best things that happened because he got into a work program. Like he had to kind of like apply to it through the prison and get into the certain side of it.
Yeah.
And did it. But like, you know, he got to work and now he got out and he's kept working. And, you know, and I think a lot of that is he cleared his name. You know what I mean? So like now he has the ability. I get that that's a side of it, but like, and it's something I've always talked on is when it goes into even homeless reform, people that have never had a job, you know, maybe relied on, that's another thing we won't get into now, but like welfare and all this stuff. And then something happened, got arrested or whatever, lost a home. So now they're homeless, but like, you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah.
And you get these people that have, you know, a 30 of my age, say a late 30s homeless person who's really only known the streets, but then they can get into the system where, hey, we got a bed for you, but you got to go work, you know, 8 hours a day. And there's all this stipulation to it. Sure. You get food, you get like dormitory, you get all this stuff. So you're getting paid way less, right?
Yeah, you're not making much money.
But there's you know something we talked about last night. There's accountability, and there's access to these things to where someone can start to say, oh well, wait a minute, this isn't so bad. I can go out and work, and I can learn to reintegrate into a system where you know, and the system itself is broken. I get that, but yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Let me mute this just for. Oh, actually, no, it's fine. If it plays for a second, it's fine.
I mean, they won't hear it anyways.
Oh, same guy.
No, that's a different one. Though.
Oh, that's a different.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is the one where he's talking about. It's hilarious, but he's talking about this dude not even being from Florida. He's from fucking Montana, and the way he gets him, he asks who voted for Ron DeSantis, and this guy realizes he's got God.
So I'm gonna play this with the mic on this time, guys. So if we have reactions or we talk to each other like we normally do when we watch during the show, just let us know if there's too much feedback or if there's too much echoing or whatever.
Just a quick show of hands on the stage and in the audience. Quick show of hands if you voted for Ron DeSantis in 2018. Jay, why didn't you vote for Ron DeSantis in 2018?
Well, sorry, I wasn't really listening to your question.
Did you vote for Ron DeSantis in 2018, yes or no?
In 2018?
Yes. That's a no. That's a no. Just a quick show of hands.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
thing is
Stage
he
and in the
couldn't
audience.
vote because he was not a Florida citizen, but yet here he is running for governor of Florida. Like that dude, if you go, that was a good debate. If you guys go watch it, like there were several things. Like that guy, he was also trying to sue Fishback for allegedly not being born in Florida. And then Fishback asked him during the debate. Fishback asked him. He said, "Where am I from?" And it's Palm Beach, beating a mouse. But Fishback asked him where I'm from. He said, "I'm pretty sure you're from whatever town in Florida." He goes, "So I was born here," or no? He said, "So I was born here." So drop the lawsuit. And the dude was like, "I'm not going to talk about that right now." I said, "Why not? Why not? You're a Montana citizen using a California lawyer to try to prove I'm not a Floridian when I'm a fourth generation Floridian."
Yeah. And that goes into the thing I was talking about earlier, right? Like there's no real limit to what these politicians do to each other, especially during a race. Like anything they find, and it goes even quacks back to Palm Beach Pete. That it was probably someone else opposing side, whatever that was like, hey, state.
Oh yeah,
he's doing this. Like we should dig into it because they are ruthless. We've all seen the smear campaigns, even as on the presidential level. Yeah. You see the smear campaigns and the bullshit, and it's like, well, can't you just argue on your beliefs? Like, do you have to attack the person? And that's when I say like that the bipartisan, government is just becoming stupid and ridiculous.
And like Gen X said, this isn't a new thing either.
Yep.
Like, what? Hillary Clinton's from Arkansas.
It doesn't matter. And that's the thing. They see a group of people they can manipulate.
Yeah.
And New York,
and she was clearly a part of the group.
And New York traditionally left.
Yeah.
Traditionally, someone she could play into.
Yep. Like, was she qualified to be? What was she during Obama? Was she the Secretary of Defense?
I don't think. She was in. Was she in?
She was something like that. No. It was maybe not. It wasn't Secretary of Defense. It was something like that. She was in charge of. Like, is she qualified to do that job? I mean, but you could get into that with like fucking the last few presidents we've had too.
What was Hillary Clinton's job under the Obama administration? Secretary of State.
Secretary of State. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, like, is she qualified to do that because she was the first lady? No.
No.
And I mean, that goes into people talking about Michelle Obama running. How's she qualified to be president? Because she was the first lady?
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely not. But yeah, next thing.
This one's old. A lot of people have seen this, but it popped up on my feed again. I wanted to show it because it kind of shows the hypocrisy of just these elite rich people. Yeah, let's just play it.
Yeah. So there was no issues with the last one. I mean, yeah. Okay.
Mark, let me ask you a question. What's your take on whether we should be sending money to Ukraine or not? Were you in favor of that?
Man, they need it.
I mean, honestly, I don't have a good answer. I can make an argument both ways, and half my family is Ukrainian from my grandparents.
I just want to say I don't like this guy, and I never have. Not Tucker. This
Mark. I can't think. Cuban. Yep.
So, personally, I think we should help, but I don't have a studied answer for you.
How much money have you sent to Ukraine?
None.
Oh, so what do you mean by we? You're the one whose family's from Ukraine. Like, why don't you send them $1 billion?
Because I'm trying to fix healthcare.
Well, why don't you fix their healthcare if you're like so deep? If you think we need to help, why don't you start? How about you first? I notice that's never like even an option for anybody. It's like, we need to help. That's not what charity is. Forcing other people to help is not charity.
Here's the good
vanity.
News. The good news is
that's a good line.
All the weapons were on loan lease. We're getting it back. And our dear president, Trump, has negotiated that we own half the minerals. So he turned this horrible tragic war into a profit center, which is one of his unique gifts. I think we can all agree.
Can I?
Mark Cuban was so pissed.
Because he got painted in. No one likes to be painted into a corner. Okay, I should. Are we high? I think some of them Gen X, and even I've had to listen some of them on the TikTok side is
X.
low. It's a little low, or X. It does get a little low.
Got the volume all the way up.
Yeah, like there's nothing really I can do from he got tuckered.
Yeah.
that I can do to boost the volume through stream. And you know, he's not in the Discord, which I understand, but like we do post everything over there. I know you're probably not going to get Discord, but he could probably send it to you.
Yeah, I could send it to you.
Yeah.
But I thought that one was good just because, and you could tell Tucker was waiting.
Yeah.
But like, he's right.
Yeah.
He's right. No, you're not just old. Like, it's just like that sometimes. There's several like clips that are hard for me to hear on my phone too. Like,
don't worry, I'm the same way. And I'm not that old. I'm more
like I've tried messing with it on here to I haven't figured out a way to amplify it.
I still need him and my wife to figure shit out for me.
But he was like, he's right. Like, you're a billionaire, but you want the taxpayers to and his excuse was, I'm working on healthcare. Well, what have you been doing? That's an awful broad statement to just, what have you?
And have we seen any change in healthcare? Not really. No, yeah.
No, but I like Tucker. If he runs in 2028, it would be very hard for me to believe he can't win.
Yeah, but he probably has it on his phone. And,
I mean, he can put it on his TV. He can put it on his TV.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I never really followed Tucker so much. Like I saw his clips. I saw all of his bullshit. I never followed him.
Oh, he's got him.
But more and more recently, it's like this guy might be something. But you know, and my distrusting side is like, what if this is all just another persona, another act? It is, maybe he does have his sights set on presidency or something.
Well, that's the thing. It always could be. But...
And look at what happened with Trump.
Yeah.
He says all this stuff. He runs this way. He gets in office, and then even him is in Israel's pocket, or you know.
And that's the thing too, is like it could be that way. I don't think it is, because I think I think Tucker left Fox because he couldn't say what he wanted. Now he can say what he wants, and he's not going to take the money from the same people Trump did. But like,
no,
and at the end of the day, even if he gets in, you still have Congress. Like, you can only do so much,
and there's still pressure. Yeah, and even if he does, and maybe that was some of it, right? Like,
I do think though, like Tucker could be one of these people to where like, if they kill me, they kill me. So what?
And
like,
okay, then
I'm going to get in and try to change shit. Like, because I do think he's like real strong in his faith and stuff too, and I could see him being one of those guys. But
which we need. And you know, I'm not that guy. I got to be honest. You come after me and my family, like, okay, whatever, man. Like,
yeah.
But and that's tough. It's tough for me to say, and tough for me to even hear myself saying it. Is like, you know, I want someone to be president that is willing to do that. But I think that goes into a servant of the people, who the leader of our government is supposed to be. It's not about yourself. It's not about it's about the country and the people in the country, and primarily it's about the people of the country, making the country work for the people. And we've lost that.
Yeah, congressmen get in there and their net worth is somehow $100 million.
You see the people, these leaders of our countries, not just here in America, using the country for their benefit. It's not using the country for the people's benefit.
No, not at all.
And that's what it should be. You are a servant.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get there was that clip. Didn't we play it? That the guy talks about, congressmen, they have to have, you know, a residence in Washington and in their home state. And, you know, I think we should let them trade because they only make $187,000 a year.
Yeah, it's like, what are you talking about? And even Burchett said that. He's like, they're buying these mansions and shit, and then they got to get the money from somewhere. He's like, why don't you guys just like do Airbnbs or something? That's what he was saying. He's like, I got an apartment I share with 3 other congressmen. Like he's like, that's the problem is these people try to live in DC.
And that's the clear sign of what I'm saying too, though, is that like they're not seeing it as being a servant. They're not seeing it as this is your job, and there's sacrifices that come with it, time away from your family, like military. And a lot of military people like kind of understand that too, but like
that's like you've seen videos of in Congress and there's congressmen with blankets sleeping.
Yeah.
What are you doing there? Get up, get out. Like,
and it's just
you might be able to raise the audio on here. Yeah, check that. The little
mute screen.
Maybe not though.
Let me see. No.
No.
Yeah. Before I play the next, so now I think we're doing a kind of a subject shift.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a subject shift, but it's still interesting. It's going to be into some UFO stuff, but it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's part of like, you know, in other countries, the oligarchy. That's part of you know, excuse me. That's part of it is that like you get these people that are bred for this now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's not normal people wanting to help like that.
Well,
because the servants or the people taking it aren't going to win because there's this plan in place and it's all about, you know, we want this person because they're going to further our agenda.
Yeah.
So now you have bred people for a specific reason to do something. I mean, and you see it in sports, which I agree with. It should be part of it. We're going to continue to evolve in sports because you have, you know, a professional football player marrying a professional tennis player or whatever, you know, any variant.
They make freak athletes.
And they make freak athletes and they're furthering everything. But that doesn't apply to politics. And you see it, sons, like people's kids, I mean, the Kennedys. And Bushes, the Kennedys. I come from the Northeast, and people are so stupid because like being a Kennedy is like being Jesus.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
People in New England, especially in Massachusetts, like the Kennedys are like.
I give the Kennedys a break though, because I think they were good, like better people. Kennedy was still, you know, he was a misogynist, cheated on his wife and everything, but I think he was trying to do a lot of good for the country and his little brother.
But here's the thing: maybe that was the cheating part, was a manipulation on other people to control him.
I'm sure.
You know, us New England people. See,
Kennedy was
you heard it from his mouth.
No.
We're great. We're great. He can't take it back.
Kennedy was also a little bit of a scumbag because, like, before they put the embargo bans on Cuba, he ordered $60,000 in Cuban cigars. And then he put you're a scumbag.
Yeah. And then after, you know, he was just going through Canada to have it delivered here. So
yeah. But one thing I wanted to add before we move on is like, everybody in the 1900s thought we killed this out. Like, because if you look, I mean, it started really in the 1700s, but like the 1900s especially, like the Russians killed their elite. So many of these nations went through and killed their elite, and they did it over and over again. It wasn't like it happened one time. They would then go back through and kill the next group of them.
Yeah.
And like at some point, it's like, well, maybe just like people get in power and they have to make shitty decisions.
No, I think it's more than that. I think, and I think maybe that's where it gets into the darker, deeper side of like humans, right? Like they killed the elite because there was someone who wanted to take the power. And in order to truly take the power, I can't let you keep your money, let you keep things and leave.
And
like, I got to kill you, and now I'm the guy, and I absorb everything and take everything. So I think there was some barbaric side to that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I'm not going to say what I was just about to say.
No, I was like, I agree. It's like, I think that's a lot of what it was. It was this side killed that side. And then when that side was in power, then this other side was able to go, these people fucking suck. We need to kill them. And it just keeps happening. But you highlight, I like what Gen X said, because I think that's true.
I do.
I think a lot of people, and I don't know that I think it is corruption, but I also think it's they lose touch. Like you're in your little community, you're seeing the people you serve, and then you get to this level to where you don't see the people anymore.
Yep.
And you forget what it's like to be that person when you wanted to serve the community.
Exactly. And it goes into the whole money, not only money, power. Yeah. So as you're climbing that ladder, you're getting more power. And I think it changes, especially, I mean, I think it changes women too, but I think a man, it's more effective to change. Like when you get this feeling and you're like he said, you're no longer, you know, even in Senate, like some senators still, but like in Congress, you're not talking to the people. You're talking to the state representatives.
Yeah.
You're talking to another person that's the in-between. You're not really, and some of them
Which
do.
is crazy.
So I think there is good intentions, right? Like, yeah, I'm just agreeing with what you said. And I think it's just the power, and, you know, with power comes money through other means, whether it's, you know, backdoor deals, whether it's insider trading, whether it's whatever. So they get corrupted. They get someone whispering, it only takes so long. Hey, you want to be part of the group? Because there is that some innate thing. It's like, hey, you want to be part of the group? All right, well, you can't act this way anymore.
And we're not going to talk about it, but it kind of goes with what we said with kind of like with the shit we saw in the military, is you get into these situations and you see everybody around you doing it. You might think you're different.
Especially your leader.
Yeah. You might think you're different, but you're going to do it too. And I think a great example of this is nobody sees their congressman until it's time for re-election. You don't see them until it's time for re-election. That's it. Nobody
even mayors.
Yeah.
Like mayors will do their, you know, 4 or 5 events in a year that they show up to the public. Like for the most, I mean, maybe not for most, maybe there are smaller states, but
I don't know who my county mayor is. And there's like
growing up
in,
people. You know, growing up in Massachusetts, the Boston mayor was a big deal. Right. Yeah. And, you know, Mitt Romney was one and like this, but like, you never saw him. Like he was never out. He was never there. It was just like he in being in the state house. I'm not going to talk on that, but like not me personally, but having access and being able to go around the state house, you know, he's there.
Mm-hmm.
He's there, but he's not there to the public. And to think that's low level when you really talk about federal government. A mayor is the one that if something's going wrong in that specific city, then the federal government comes in and puts pressure on him and pretty much manipulates him to how they want.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yes.
100% term limits. Like, and they needed to be subject to like cognitive tests too. Like some of these guys, I feel bad. Like who's the one guy we show? Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell, dude. Like, how has nobody in his family
been like, hey man,
you need to retire? Like he's gonna die.
Yeah.
He's not enjoying his life. You look at the dude, like that's how he looks. He looks freaking completely lost. Like you can't tell me he's enjoying this shit. Like get him.
No, he's a puppet. I think he's a puppet.
Yes, that's the only thing that makes sense is he is there because he's done this shit. He's took the money, and wherever he's from, I don't remember exactly where Mitch McConnell's from, but he can't.
Someone's telling him, no, you got to be here.
Yeah, you're still the guy, buddy.
Like I don't care if you're tired. I don't care. Like sorry. And he's probably one of those people that if there's a long vote, they're just like, yeah, man, take off. And then someone like we've seen the video of walks by his stand and goes,
Fine, just hits his button. Yeah.
Oh, he's part of our party. Yeah.
And that's where you get into the back door of it. You get to the people who are behind them because all of them have huge teams that go with them. You see them when you watch these hearings and stuff. Those people sitting behind the congressman, those are their what's the word for it? There's a term for it. The people who are sitting behind him who are like, I don't want to say like secretaries, not entourage. There's a specific name for it.
Advisors?
Kind of like their advisors, but like when you got a guy like Mitch McConnell, those are the people making the decisions.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great one too. We remember that clip we watched today.
Yeah.
It was, by the way.
I don't know what he's saying. I don't know. He knows what he's saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Trump
that was top comedy.
I'm all dude. It was like I'm not the biggest Trump fan right now, but like that shit is why people like me voted for that guy. Joe Biden was mumbling, and then they asked him, "What do you think about Trump?" Goes, "I don't know what he said. I don't think he knows what he said." Like
that whole time was top comedy, and I agree. It was kind of a part to where it was like, yeah, this guy's
a real person.
This guy's kind of cool. Like he's and and it just goes into what Gen X said going in then. Originally these people had these ideas, these people had these beliefs, these people had these morals, and they went into it. And we saw Trump his first term, and how he was acting. Yeah, he would have been successful if he shut up. I think if he just shut the fuck up, he would have been successful. But he didn't. But we saw how he was acting, and then he lost. Okay, he lost. Biden came in, and then it was apparent. And then it was apparent he was going to win again. And that's where I think this like face sucker, like shit just started shooting out into this guy, and he really had. And I think that is kind of part of it. Yeah. You want to do this, you have no choice.
Yeah. And
you have no choice.
That's the only thing that makes sense. And it makes sense with two things, the Epstein files and Israel. And he has kind of turned it back on the Israel stuff, saying they have to end this shit. Like they are, he said it very calmly and tamely, but I mean, at least he's acknowledging it. And I still say like he could completely turn this shit around. Like if he came out and he said, all right, I'm going to release all the Epstein files. We're not going to be sending money to Israel anymore. We're pulling everybody out of the Middle East. Dude, I'd be back in a heartbeat.
180.
Yeah.
But
he can't.
Exactly. I think that proves a part of the system, right? Yeah. Like it doesn't matter and I think that maybe is what's happening. Is part of this is leaking through him.
Yes.
Because we know he hasn't really had a filter. We know we kind of know this. So I think some of this is leaking through him, but there's only so much he can do that's like, hey man, like it doesn't even matter if we kill you, your wife, your kids, like
yeah. And dude, it goes back to the people behind him too. Like I didn't put the clip in here, I should have, but it was Jared Kushner's going back over to the Middle East to negotiate this peace deal. Who the fuck is Jared Kushner? He's one of these rich families from New York. Why is Jared Kushner? And by the way, he's not partial. He's Jewish. So you can't tell me he's a partial party. Have the Saudis do it or something. Why is Jared Kushner talking this? And, he's married to Ivanka Trump, and he's always there in the background, like this puppet master, dude.
That's what I said even before I knew who he was.
Yeah.
Because Jay was the one who really brought out like who he was in the background of him and everything. But like I specifically, and I think I had even said it to you before I even knew who he was. I was like, this is the guy that I always see in is standing, Trump is talking or something's happening, and this guy's just standing there. Yep. And you just thought he was another one of the entourage or whatever, but he was there, and you always saw him, and it's just it immediately clicked for me. And
he's his Jewish son-in-law whose family owns 666 Avenue in New York City. Just a coincidence, though. Just a fucking coincidence.
But I don't know. What do you guys think? I know a lot of you guys have to jump in and out, but if there's anyone here who doesn't normally talk, I that's one of my biggest and favorite things about this is getting an outside perspective. I mean, me and you are not always on the same page, and that's why I think we do kind of work. But does anyone have anything to add? I mean, probably not, but don't be lurkers. Say hello.
Don't be lurkers.
But
we won't have too many lurkers tonight, just because we're on the horizontal one. But
yeah, true.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think that it does play a big part.
It does.
It's
the shorts feed. You get all the autistic people who just do this.
I'm one of them, so it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got a few stuff going into one of our favorite topics, always will be.
Yeah,
UFOs, UAPs, aliens. But hold on, let me doing this. Let's pull this up here. That's why this multiple screens is huge. So I don't need to change shit anymore.
Yeah, that is nice.
All right. What is this?
Let's just play it.
Okay.
Let's just play it.
Take a gander, folks.
Consistently have seen that, to me, that's unshakable is these plasmoids, these glowing balls of plasma. I don't know if it is plasma, but they look like what plasma would look like, and it's moving intelligently. They seem to be, maybe half the size of a sedan or something like that, but they're not flying by conventional means, and so one can't really just. I have no idea what they are, and neither does our intelligence community.
So when you say they're moving intelligently, why do you say that?
Well, they're not moving in a way that seemed natural, right? So they're moving in sometimes right angles. They're moving, they're just standing still to an incredible speed.
And it's part of the briefing that we don't know what they are.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, I asked point blank to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence when they briefed me about this. They literally that briefing began as, and that was a second briefing. The first briefing that I had, they said, "Sir, we've not found any evidence of anything." They called me in 2 months later to say, "We felt like we had to bring you back because we have had an experience that we cannot deny."
So this is the actual, what you've seen is the actual object that the ODNI people saw.
I've seen footage. So I've not seen the footage from that event, but I've seen similar objects that are filmed by the FBI.
Yeah. He's not full of shit. Those people who said we don't know what they are after, let's just say Roswell 47. That's 80 years ago, pretty soon. So 80 years, they have no clue what they are. And then 2 months later, they come back, they say, "Hey, hold on. We figured it out. We got an idea what these things are." It's like, no, motherfucker, you guys. And that's the thing that pissed me off is like, you didn't think of that, dude? I'm just a normal person. And I would be like, wait, you told me 2 months ago you didn't know what the fuck these things were. Like,
wait, it's gone out of control. Now we kind of have to fill you in.
Yeah, we've looked into it.
Like, what? So you've learned all this and
yeah. This is what I'm saying is like, we need somebody to just release all this shit. Just release all, just like that new Steven Spielberg movie. Just dump all of it because they're not going to do it. They're going to keep doing this.
It's this curated. It's the thing I've always gone into. It's this carefully planned, carefully combed on. Well, we can't do this because, as we know, I'm pretty sure, as we know at this point, there are companies that have benefited from this, countries that have benefited from this, and there's people that have been left in the dark on country and company level.
Yep.
So it's like they have to manicure this so meticulously because if it comes out like that, that's where regular people get really fucking pissed. Like, wait, you have the cure to cancer? Oh, wait, you could have saved my mom. Like, you could have.
And part of me wonders if that's not like part of the missing scientist problem is like they're trying because they know it's going to come out. They know there's this certain amount of people out there who have this information, and if they don't put it out, they're just going to leak it. Like, and it could be a foreign government too, for all we know. Like,
and it's corroboration, I think, too.
Yeah.
Like people that like, all right, this is going to come out. Like, I need you to understand that if you really back this up, you're not willing to say, well, it wasn't that way, then shit's going to get bad.
Yeah.
And so those are the people they're getting rid of.
The fucked up thing is like they have to do this for over 80 years, though. There's no way they can do that. That's why.
Oh, you mean the release has to be?
No. What I'm saying is like you're talking about people having to cover for the organizations or other people. What I'm saying is they have to do. They would have to have been doing that for 80 years.
But I think,
and I don't think they have.
I think that's where I come in. My side of it, maybe not 80 years. I think this has been. We have what I always talk about: soft disclosure. It's come into media. I think this has been a 50-year plan. I think, because when you really go back and you go into, like, if you're thinking into how I'm thinking, this soft disclosure side, movies started coming out. We got saturated with aliens. We got saturated with all this shit. That's pretty much what's taken over gaming, movies, everything. we got saturated with it. It's okay. Oh, okay. Now we're kind of softening the blow there. But now there's also all the loose ends that they had to tie up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Missing scientists that we know of.
Yeah.
Imagine everyone who shut up or that we don't know of.
Right. And that's the thing too, is like the amount of accountability the government would have to do. And the other thing that kind of pisses me off.
He won't. I tried to give him whiskey today. He's a changed man, I guess.
No, it's hot down here. I don't.
Oh yeah,
I'm dehydrated, so I'm just drinking water.
Yeah, we were.
There was a juice box on the side of the road. I thought about picking up.
We were training with Bear today. I think all three of us were about to have a heat stroke outside.
By the way, Gen X, I'm sorry that you got into a physical altercation with my rooster
and lost. I saw the picture. You lost to a bird. I just want that to be known.
Bird is mean. That bird, you have to put it in its place.
I remember your fucking Tom.
Yeah,
I was scared of
if
that.
You make it into like a soup or something, that's fine too, actually. But Gen X is taking care of all my animals while I'm not there, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
because they're all autistic, so I know it's hard.
Just like him.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah.
But what I wanted to say is, and I think this goes into how good they fucking are. Is like, why are we all sitting here? And I do think there's a reason for it, and I'll get into it, but why are we all sitting here waiting for the government to tell us they're real? There's so much shit out there. Why can't we make up our own minds? And my counterpoint to that is well, it's good for like them to acknowledge it. Like, that's what we want. It's like mom and dad are getting a divorce, they're not happy, and they're telling you a bunch of lies. Like, eventually you just want to hear it, right?
Keep going. No, keep going.
No, and I was or like when you're a kid and somebody dies, and your question is always how.
Yeah.
Like you don't know why you want to know that, but you want to know that, and you just want somebody to tell you. Just want somebody to tell you.
Why?
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 And I think that's a similar thing. Like, we all believe in it, but we just want them to fucking tell us. Like, tell us that we're not crazy.
And that's why I think this is so perfectly manicured, so perfectly put out, because they are saying, yeah, we acknowledge it, but they're not giving us shit.
Yeah.
We haven't learned something that people who have spent time in this area, spent time looking into things, we already know this shit.
Yeah. We've seen the Facebook videos that you guys release.
They're not doing anything except saying, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
they did die, and we don't need to go into it. Yeah, they died. Something happened, but they died from a triple murder homicide, like triple murder suicide. And the parents aren't telling us why. They're just saying, yeah, they died to an accident.
Yeah,
but we're not getting the actual. Well, yeah,
we're not getting all the details.
He killed the whole family and killed himself.
No, I didn't see there was a new release. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
I didn't see there was a new release.
Oh my God, Sleepy K.
No, she's fine. She's not late.
But Sleepy J is defending.
No. See, now he's calling us. Oh no, he's talking about them, the traitor. But
Kinsley, welcome, brother.
What's up, Kinsley?
Glad you came.
But what were you talking about?
We were talking about that the government is saying it, but they're not saying anything, and that's relating it to bad news your parents tell you, but are still protecting you.
I can't remember what I wanted to say, so we can just.
I think to me that's all it's been, and to me it still seems so perfectly curated, so perfectly like it all seems to be this and this. Stuff we know or we believe, and so many people believe, but they're not telling us. Like, they're just saying, okay, they're real, but they're not giving us shit. Go ahead, I know you.
No, what I was gonna say is, and I think the reason they're releasing this shit is because, like we've talked about, for better or worse, Trump has got a lot of people into politics who do care, like the Tim Burchetts, the Burlesons, those type of people. He's got a lot of people in the politics who see where the country's at and they do care. Whether I think he's a good example of that right now is not the question, but I wonder if the reason they're getting to this, like we've got to really start considering disclosing shit, is because there's these people who can get the information now. Burleson, Burchett, they are in these meetings, they are talking to people, and Burchett's already said, somebody asked him, do you feel the duty if the government doesn't do this to do it yourself? He said, yeah, I do. And I think there's people out there like that.
And I do think, and it went into something we said Wednesday, that I think it is kind of a byproduct, and something maybe Trump has done somewhat good is giving the freedom to maneuver.
Yeah.
So now these people are, and where in previous administrations, there's just, hey man, no.
Yeah, they took the face value answer.
It was simply no. And even if you wanted to dig into it, like if me and you were congressmen and we're like, hey man, like there's something good, but it was still this cold, hard answer from the higher federal side. No, no, doesn't matter. No.
And it's crazy.
You have no, and then, more and more skiffs started to happening more and more in this, and people got this information, and it kind of somewhat forced it. And I think maybe Doge had something to do with it. There was this diving into all this stuff, and it was kind of like, well, we're kind of, the bill's up.
Yeah.
But I think that, along with social stressors, where there are so many people like, hey man, like, let's be honest. Look at hieroglyphics. Look at all this shit. Like, we really can't get by on saying that we're
right.
it. That's it.
We were talking about that today with like the cave paintings.
Yeah.
These people weren't painting myths. They were painting what they saw.
Yeah.
Like they're painting the buffaloes, the deer, the people. And then there's this crazy fucking giant looking thing.
All over the world.
Yeah.
Africans were painting elephants, stuff they saw. Yeah. Native Americans were painting,
the Egyptians had helicopter hieroglyphs.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Like, and very, very few people are on the UFOs aren't real. They might argue as to what they are, but very few people just deny it at this point.
Exactly, Quex. And that was, but I mean, you go way back before written language. It was as simple as, even if you're a bad artist, kind of drawing kind of what you saw. And that was their way of communication. And it was, verbally or experience wise, because if there wasn't a written language, there was a very minimal spoken language.
One thing I was thinking about when I was driving down here, because I was watching, some stuff about the Bible and stuff. I think we're moving back towards oral history. People aren't reading as much, but like this, what we're doing, like video, people always dog on it, get off the computer, stop watching TV. Well, I think we're kind of moving. It's just a different version of oral history. I think we're moving back toward, and maybe it's a negative, maybe less shit's getting written down, but like, I think that's kind of what it is like with technology, we're moving back towards oral history.
And I think that plays into a lot too, is that it's so easy to manipulate.
Yeah.
It's so easy to come in here and be a figure, whether it's a political or just a Hollywood figure, and say, they're shit. Crazy.
Yeah.
You're crazy, these guys. And because you have a following, you have millions of fans, you have millions of constituents when you talk about, politics. It's oral history, I think, was always important. Written history, and why we've both said it, reading is important, but like now it's moved into this new phase, but it's still so easy for someone to come in here,
just say shit
and say, and completely ruin us, and completely say shit, like not ruin us, because we would still, I think we would, we're just assholes, we would still do it to do it. And I think that really gets into like genuine people, and it goes back to the World Cup thing I said, is where people need to get into, where it's like, okay, we can talk and argue and we can do but we're people. Like you're I don't agree with your religion.
Competition's a little different though, I think.
Oh no, and I think competition is important.
Yeah.
I think it drives, especially in men and young men, it drives a thing, but it then gets and has been manipulated to unhealthy stuff. Where people are always focusing on someone else. You're in your own race.
Well, it's the bread and circus thing, right?
Yeah. But I mean, still, like with everything, with the whole hierarchy of what we built with media, with everything, it's like, man, don't compare yourself to someone else. You're in your own race. You're in your own thing.
And it's hard to do. There's plenty of times like I watch people, I'm like, fuck, this guy's got it figured out.
Yeah.
But like, just to hit on it again, when I was driving down here, I listened to a 4-hour documentary some guy did on YouTube about MK Ultra, and I learned a whole bunch of shit. But even in that 4 hours, the dude said so many times, I cannot cover all this. Like, there's just no way for me to cover all this. Check out this book. Like, that just tells you. But I do think, like, it is a positive that we have shit out there like that.
I agree, and I think maybe we're kind of teetering, like, on a cusp on this thing where, you know, Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff. Sorry, burp attack. Is getting this information out there, and then there's this pushback from control and government and everything where but I do feel we're really teetering to where there's so many people that are realizing, like, hey, we're kind of like mind. We kind of like, let's put this bullshit.
These psychos at the top.
Yeah, let's put this bullshit aside and, like, let's talk about this shit.
Yeah, that goes back to the
And
old
so,
thing.
like, I think we're right on the edge to
I do
where
too.
internet becomes this thing where it topples over.
I think it
and
has
everything and everything comes out, and we get what we want in the whole nine. But there's and like you said, they're so good.
Yeah.
They're so good. If you don't think, like, through the years of CIA research, through years of everything, that they're so good where this dam's trying to break, but they're so good at shoring it up.
And
on
this
the
is
other
the
side.
thing too. I think the dam breaking's part of the game. It has to be. Why did censorship just kind of stop? It hasn't stopped altogether, but it's gotten a lot looser. If we were doing this show in 2021, we wouldn't have made it to episode 2.
No.
Like, it's just the way it is.
We would have been banned every time we put out something.
So why is it being allowed to happen now?
And that gets into the fuck you thing.
I don't think it is fuck you. I think that, and maybe, you know, this goes into, like, my personal beliefs into where we're at in the world, kind of looking at the Bible and stuff. But, like, I think we're getting to a point to where they're like, well, okay, we're fucking here. Like, we're here.
Yep.
We knew this was coming. It is what it is at this point.
I think that's a very good point. And I think it comes to the point where banning people repeatedly is a sign of the control.
Yeah.
And they tried to do that early, but it kept progressing.
Yeah.
And so now it's just a sign of the control. So now they're showing their hand too much if they just keep banning us, if they keep, you can't say this. It's people were realizing, well, wait a minute. What the fuck's going on?
And they've got so much shit in place now to where it is, like you said, what the fuck are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Like, they've done this shit over so long. If you ask me, I think it started after World War II. It's probably been going on for fucking ever. It's the oldest battle in history, good versus evil. But, like, I think that's what it is. And I think we're at the point now to where, I mean, what are we going to do?
Yeah. And Shelley, I agree with that. And I think that's kind of on my side of the control thing when I think about it, is what this soft disclosure with this stuff is saturating everything. Movies, what we see every day, what we see in shows, movies, media, everything, games, you know, we're gamers. So games is just, like, desensitizing us so much that, like, it's not crazy to people because they live that on like a daily basis through fantasy, so to speak. So, like, they've played these things in their mind. It's not complete shock when they say, you know, back in the 40s, when they say, oh yeah, aliens came here, they crashed.
Yeah.
And we talked about the robot.
Yeah.
The robot's chasing the hogs.
If you just dropped a dude from
1600s Salem.
Yeah.
Like,
they would kill you. They would think you're a witch.
People would just shut down, would freak out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I personally see the whole agenda.
Dude, even if you took somebody
with a cell phone.
Yeah, like, even if you took somebody from, you could say the 80s. If you drop somebody in, I'm not saying people from the 80s. I'm saying if you went back in time, grabbed some from the 80s and put them in today's society.
With this.
They'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, with this.
Yeah. And maybe, you know, the older people in the chat can, you know, chime in on that a little bit. I'm not saying you guys, like, now can't do it. I'm saying if, like, you took somebody from the 80s and put them in here today.
But they still saw the progression. Yeah, like 80s, yourself in the 80s. If all of a sudden you came in, there's two dudes sitting next to each other with screens in front of them, with phones in front of them, talking to other people real time.
Yeah, and that's how you know the space mission is shit. I know this is completely unrelated, but, like, apparently my cell phone has more technology than the fucking first space shuttle. Give me a break. That's bullshit.
Way more. Yeah,
give me a fucking break.
Computing power and everything, what I put in my pocket every day and, you know, cook my balls. That's another thing.
Yeah.
You know, is just. But yeah, hold on. Sorry. Let's. We're almost there, people. But I think it's been good.
Shelly said my dad thinks live podcasts are mental, and he's only 58. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even understand this shit. It's like magic to me. How does this shit get out there? How are we actually projecting this fucking video across the world?
I mean, the other crazy thing,
it's just all hardwired magic.
But you've also, and I think it is kind of an energy thing, because like how did we, I mean, I understand algorithms and things, but like how did we find Shelly?
Right.
Like
right.
how did we find, and like the same thing when, because we've talked about it before, but when he was driving here, I opened my thing to text him and I see the bubbles come up. And I was like, what the? And I told him, I was like, don't text me when I'm trying to text you. But I think there is still such a deep connection of all people, not just close friends, not just brothers, family, anything. I think there is this innate skill that we have that is being suppressed, and I've talked about that before.
It for sure is.
That there is this kind of thing that's suppressing us.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's
no. So this one's she was formerly a part of the UAP task force, and she says some interesting stuff in this thing, but I don't know why she's former. That would be an interesting question. This is a 1 minute clip out of an hour and 25 minute, podcast, but
this one should play better, Gen X, if you're still here.
That speaks to where they come from. Do you think they come from some far off distant galaxy, or do you think they're from here and that's why they're concerned?
Yes, they're both. I say both. And there's so much of this planet we don't know about. All of the oceans, and most of Earth is water. So what better place to hide and to live? And but yes, I think they have been here for thousands of years.
But that's something I think I do think we should do a ghost episode too.
A ghost episode?
Because I'm huge on it. It was part of what I was raised. I know Quex is big on it.
Well,
you're not so much, but I think this is kind of layered in with this. Whereas were they always here? Like and some people believe like when you're talking to a ghost or interacting, it's just a different timeline butted up.
Yeah, it's like a different dimension.
Yeah, I like a different dimension, but some believe it's just time.
Yeah.
So you're talking to someone from the 1800s. Exactly.
It could be the same thing. Like we use the word dimension, but do we really know? Do we have any evidence of another dimension?
Yeah.
Been fortunate enough to go to Egypt and see evidence of potential extraterrestrial involvement in
rewind that. What you just say?
That have extraterrestrials on them. There's is water. So what better place to hide and to live? The oceans. That's the planet we don't know about. All of the oceans, and most of Earth is water. So what better place to hide and to live? And but yes, I think they have been here for thousands of years. I've been fortunate enough to go to Egypt and see evidence of potential extraterrestrial involvement. And there's hieroglyphics that have extraterrestrials on them. There's lizard people, monkey people, mermen, all kinds of things on the walls of these temples. So they've been here for a very long time, but I also think they're coming in to pop in to say hello. And I also joke that my early days in the task force, I would joke that we're a petting zoo and they're coming in to visit, and so be like, oh yeah, they're still not okay yet. Like we're gonna pop out now, and so they'll come in and kind of view the petting zoo and see the cows and the sheep, and then head back out.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes into something I've said in the past, and that's why I pointed at you, is like the whole petting zoo theory.
Yeah.
That we could be this petri dish. We could be this experiment where they did seed us, where they did, before there were animals, and then that goes in, but it goes against religion. It goes into evolution, right? Where we were these apes, and these beings came in and said, well, wait a minute. Let me sprinkle a little of this here, a little of that there. And now they're just sitting back and watching, and it's a zoo or it's a guided experiment. And that goes into, the nuclear interdiction shit.
Yeah.
That goes into the thing like, well, wait, whoa. We know you shouldn't do this. So we're going to shut you down. The Cold War would have gone nuclear, but we shut you off type thing.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I always struggle with that is like, and I mean, it does play into it. Is like they seem fucked up, like malevolent. Like when you look at the cattle mutilations, you look at the, like it's.
But look at what we do to mice.
No, I get it. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying. Like, you know, we're looking at the perspective of humans, but like you said, we do the same thing to mice. But I also think this could easily be a narrative that they want to push about religion. And maybe it's true and I just don't want to believe it. That could be the case, but like you see it in that new Steven Spielberg movie too. It's a very interesting movie. The ending kind of sucks, but it's a interesting movie.
It wasn't stellar, but it's worth the watch.
Oh, it's definitely worth watching. The interesting thing was in there is the never mind. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. They just need to watch.
Okay, but sorry. Shelly, are you still here? I know you're sleepy, but Kinsley brought up book time. Kinsley, did you get, or have you been reading / listening or whatever to the book? I don't know if he's even still here. I missed some, but
well, that kind of goes in. He brought up Planet of the Apes, and it kind of goes into 2001: A Space Odyssey. The monolith, which by the way, if you've never watched it, you'd be like, oh, this movie's from the 60s. It probably fucking sucks. No, it doesn't. It's awesome. But the monolith comes down, and then all of a sudden, this tribe of apes that the monolith came down to start using weapons. And they evolve and all this stuff. And they're saying that's how we were created. And now all this stuff's coming out. Everybody's alluding to they could have created us. They're having these meetings with these leaders of, you know, religion and everything.
And Quex has made this point, and I think you have too, is just like, what if in the thing when the original drop we went into, the priest saying that this was aliens, it was just us. These were historical things.
Yeah.
And it's just us. So this is real. It's still not debunking religion. It's just bringing it back to a super root thing to where people would have trouble understanding it.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they bring in the preachers and this stuff, is that like, hey, well, this shit did happen. And there are these people that were here to guide us, the simple apes, to be better, to do things.
And I think
and we just wrote this into a book to better understand it to our brain.
That could be some of it too. And maybe it is, you know, like I was going to bring up the Vatican and like what they have. What could be so secretive pertaining to religion that you have to completely block people from seeing it? Like, and you could say what you want about the Catholic faith, like, oh, it's not true Christianity or stuff. But the fact of the matter is they have been around, not the longest, but one of the longest, and they've kept like some very good records. Like, I don't think there's an Orthodox library. There might be, and I'm just ignorant to it. I don't think there's a Protestant library anywhere, but the Catholic has this vast.
Yeah, it's a dome. It's an outer dome around all these things or beliefs or religions or subsects of religions are underneath this dome. And they just happen to be the ones because of everything that is controlling the dome.
Yeah. Quex, you are right. I think Catholicism is closer to the original religion than a lot of these evangelical religions and stuff you see today.
Yeah, I just think like, and more like because of you in Quex and talking about it, like, you know, I before I claimed the manipulation, I still kind of do. I think it is manipulated by power and by people, but I think there is the historical account of things. But I also think maybe with all this stuff going on and what we're hearing, whether it's real or not, you know, bringing pastors in, bringing all this stuff in, is to where maybe, yeah, it's a historical account and maybe you shouldn't call it manipulation, but it was more of this shit did happen. Angels did happen. They were alien races coming that were outcasts, whatever. And it was just our relation because we are hybrids. You know, we weren't fully in the know. We weren't fully in the dis-know, where it was converted into these things, and these things were actually happening, miracles, the whole nine. And it's not really manipulation. It's just an understanding. And it's just a conveyance of what a simpler mind saw at the time to, you know, it goes in, again, the first release we did. was this guy was talking about Jesus, Mary, you know, they left men here, and they were planning to come with women. Well, they find out the men they left here were breeding with the people here or whatever whatever was on Earth.
Yeah.
And so they came to drop off all these people and were like, oh shit, wait a second. Yeah. Well, this you know, Mary is already pregnant. Let's put her there.
Yeah.
Because now we can bridge the gap for the lesser hybrids in the purest. We can put this purist in there on a later time scale where he is a prophet. He is this higher level of knowledge and everything. And I think,
and the FBI thought it was interesting enough to go listen to it and write up a report. Yeah. I mean, stuff like that's always interesting. And I try not to like narrow myself down too much, but I don't know. It's just one of those things where like that also plays into the Bible story, that whole thing. You get into the fallen angels when they came down on Mount Hermon. What did they do? The fallen angels breeded with women. Like, you know, so that could have just been them telling that story or vice versa. Like it is, you know, we don't know. We don't know.
And you know, and it kind of does fall into it when you look in that way. Is like the missing link. Maybe there really is a missing link because the missing link is
we would have found it by now.
Them coming in and seeding what we had. And I'm not saying we were completely apes, but maybe we were a Neanderthal.
Yeah.
Where we're starting to build this base root, this base communication, whether it was grunts and moans and cave paintings. And then they came in, and then we had this jump. This missing link is there because we had this jump. And sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Like the missing link thing is always fascinating because everybody has theories for it. They haven't found, like, it's always we're a step closer, but we haven't found it. Like,
and it goes into one of the archaeologists that I've talked about many times, is that she here in the Mississippi Delta supposedly found this society that would kind of fill the gap to the missing link. And it goes into what we've talked about, how the what's the organization, not the Smithsonian, but whatever, that she had to present this stuff to them, and they took all the findings, all the evidence. And she had I'm gonna look better into that, but she had a book and everything, in that they took this stuff and then blacklisted her. And then we're like, yeah, you're crazy. This never happened. And all the evidence disappeared.
And they do the same thing with like guys like Graham Hancock, who have found evidence of civilization. And then also not even that, but they keep finding
older, Shelley, thank you.
Peace out, Shelley. Thank you for stopping by. But they keep finding older and older skeletons of modern humans. Like they don't really know where this line is, but we're kind of getting off topic.
But I mean, but it's fine. I mean, and it goes into this like the time scale radiological dating, is that like humans as we know us are this old, but oh shit, this new evidence comes out, we're this old, and then that that just goes into.
Savannah says Bigfoot is the missing link. I mean, dude, that's the thing about Bigfoot, is like, I think Bigfoot's real. And for him not to, like, nobody to have a body or something, there's something more than physical there.
That's why I say it's like either trans-dimensional, time variant, like
something.
It's
there's something.
They are, or
too many people have seen it for it to be completely fake.
Inner Earth type stuff.
Yeah.
And it goes, and then you can get into a whole nother thing. We won't go there, that, you know, aliens aren't aliens. They're just us from a different time frame, or just us from a lost civilization. It's just, it's never really been completely off planet. Maybe at one point it was, but that connection is lost now. And it's just these things coming from our oceans, coming from Antarctica, coming like, and it's just this time scale type thing that, and I think Bigfoot is real.
Too many people have seen it. Dude.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense to me that, like, but it doesn't. Like, we haven't found a body, we haven't found anything, and it goes into the old days of Skinwalker. It goes into Missing 411, which I think is a little inflated. The guy was making money, sure, but I think there is something to that.
Yeah.
And it goes kind of more into this thing where they can come here and they can come like, or they can visit, but they're never really fully here.
Yeah, like you.
So like even if they were to be shot and killed,
Mhm.
they're gone. Like maybe it's a conscious effort to where they're projecting, or they can project on such a level where they can actually be here physically and do things. But if they were to be killed or whatever, they lose that conscious connection and
That's fucking
they're
terrifying.
gone. They're gone.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
But that's like, dude, that guy, and I keep forgetting to put the clip in here. Like several shows, I keep forgetting to, but the guy who did a lot of investigating into MH370, that's a missing Malaysia flight. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about it. But he's one of the ones who released those videos of the orbs flying around it. And he's the dude who's been a lot of doing an investigation. And basically what he comes to the conclusion to is that this thing just blipped off the map. And the radar says it blipped off the map. Nobody ever found anything from it.
That's the backstory. Is if you don't know what this is logs, radar, everything. It seems like this airplane, zunk, was gone. They never found a crash site. They never found anything. It was just gone.
And the people who were on that flight were like people that I don't remember the full story of who needed them gone, but they needed them gone. And the thing was like the theory was they basically just got, for lack of a word, teleported. But what he was saying was even crazy. He was like, and it makes sense with what we see with this UFO stuff. He was like, we don't need to have ballistic missiles. He said we could just teleport a nuke into Moscow.
Yep.
Like we have that type of technology.
And people have talked about that.
Yeah.
Is that this thing here. And but I wanted to touch on this too, because it talks about why humans don't work on Earth. There's this theory that like we don't belong here. The sun burns us. We need shelter to survive.
Yeah, like
it's
we can't live in the wild.
Just not it's not ideal. So it goes into that theory of belief is the hair's there to protect them from the radiation, that because we weren't meant to be here.
Yeah. Well, I think that would be more evidence of them being from here, or at least adapting to it, though, because like
that's what I was going to get to.
Yeah.
Is that like they might have been the apes.
Yeah.
The missing link there. We evolved, and it wasn't really Cro-Magnon. It wasn't really Neanderthal. It was Bigfoot.
And everything.
Bigfoot was the one who was here, but he had the wherewithal to be smart enough. He understood somewhat, maybe not on the same completely level we are, but then they came in and manipulated, they aliens, whatever, manipulated the bloodline, and they're the inner Earth. They're the last people because they were meant to live here.
Maybe. Dude, I mean, like, maybe they're one of the megafauna that survived the last ice age, because like all the megafauna was huge. Mammoths, giant sloths, even that
bears,
Gigantopithecus bears, they were all way bigger. So maybe this is something that survived it.
Yep. But yeah, I think that's it's again, we always go down this route, and maybe that's something we need to get better at, is like really focusing on, say, Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's why I liked the last episode, because we just
we had one video.
Yeah.
We watched it. Oh, we were outside sweating our asses off today. Like,
he's been making me do his yard work and stuff.
But
he woke me up at like 6 a.m. and handed me a weed eater.
I did not do. But
let's play this last clip though.
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was.
Because we haven't eaten yet either. And we can smell it right now. So
I can't smell it.
Oh,
my nose sucks since I got COVID. I wanted to play this one because I already know what Ponte's gonna say as soon as he sees it. But this is
this the last one or second one? Okay.
I think it's the last one. But go up real quick. I want to get the guy's name right. Avi Loeb, that's it. So a lot of you guys have probably heard about Avi Loeb. He's a famous UFO investigator. That's the guy on this bottom left. Or the bottom. Oh, I said bottom left.
Let's go.
So what is the main goal of
this one's low.
This is low, sorry.
Council? What are you hoping it achieves? And how is this different from anything you've done in the past?
the goal is to figure out the nature of unidentified anomalous phenomena, which is a serious matter because at the very least, if you have a down-to-earth approach, they represent human-made objects and they hover over strategic assets. Therefore, they pose a national security threat. We have to figure them out. But of course, there is a chance that perhaps one of them or some of them are not human-made, in which case it will be the biggest discovery ever made by humanity. So it's a great scientific relevance. It's different from previous work that I've been doing in the sense that I led projects that collect data or analyze data that was collected by other scientists. But here we're dealing with data collected by sensors of the government that was intended to monitor the sky, to make sure that there are no security threats. So we have to, first of all, request the relevant data. We did so. We asked for more than 50 items of information from the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the All Domain Anomaly Resolution Office in the Pentagon, the FBI, the White House, and the intelligence community. And the good news is that they are cooperating. They have a mindset of working with us, and we will analyze only unclassified data. And in that sense, it will be transparent to the public. We'll be able to write our findings in even scientific publications, potentially. But altogether, we can encourage the government to collect the right data if it doesn't exist. If we see that we need additional information that was not collected, we can encourage them.
Sorry, guys.
Wrong button. I'm surprised. I was fully expecting you to say that guy's a fucking alien.
I mean, I could. I did. I'm going to be honest with you. I did in the beginning because of whatever. I was spaced a little bit, but I don't know. It's
that dude just maybe the chat can chime in, but he just seems like, again, like we were talking about. I don't know if we were talking about tonight or last night, but just they put these people in place, like,
and that's kind of what I was going to get at. Is that like how this almost seems like he's not reading, but like how this seems rehearsed.
Yes,
like someone
and his answers.
Yeah, and I know my mind goes faster than my mouth. I know I don't speak like the best, but at the same time, like maybe he's a brilliant mind, but I think it's beyond that. I feel like this is a rehearsed, like and it's known thing that in these interviews and stuff for big names, especially, it's like, give me your questions.
Give me your questions. Yeah.
Give me your questions. So I don't have to come up and they do. Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely looks like a plant.
Yeah.
Kinsley said the next topic should be the missing airline. That's a tough one, man.
For a whole episode, that's tough. Like, I think we can go into it and give.
I just don't know how effectively we could talk about it because it's so strange. Like, we would basically just be watching a video at that point. Like, we could add into it, but like, it's so out there. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to do some research. We could just cover the different theories and stuff, but
a whole episode, I don't think we could do. I think we could do a segment type thing where we talk about it, but like he said, I don't know. And maybe we could try to find a pilot.
There is a lot of theories.
Like, I think that might be something we could find, but it would take
I don't
work.
know pilots, maybe you do. But
I know one that he's young, but he has his pilot and understands, but he's not a jet pilot.
Right.
He just has like that.
But the reason I want to share is because like this dude just seems, like you said, a plant quack.
Yeah.
Like his answers, he's like, maybe some of these are made by humans. It's like, dude, show me anything that can do this shit.
It seems there's no thought.
No.
That's the big thing. There's no eyes up and to the right or to the left, lying or not lying, recalling. There's none of that happening in him. It seems very scripted, and he's so quick. And he has this whole curated spiel that seems more than anyone ever, even a genius, is talking. And think about it. Like you see Elon Musk, by any means, extremely smart man. And you still see he gets asked a question and he's good at it. And I think a lot of us need to get better at it. Is he won't answer right away. He'll sit there.
Yeah.
Pause for a second. But this guy just
blah, blah,
bam,
blah,
bam,
blah.
bam, 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 bam. This whole curated, and that's where I think it's bullshit.
And like this dude, he's been covering this stuff for a long time, you know, and it's just something, you know, I've seen stuff by him before, but now I'm just like, maybe you've just been feeding this bullshit for all these years. And even other guys too. I was thinking about it, like Jacques Vallée. Jacques Vallée's been covering this shit for a long time, but I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Like he just came back. Like, where were you from 80s to now?
He was bought out. That's where he was.
I don't even know if he was bought out. I think they needed him at the time. And then they were like, all right, we're kind of done with this now. You can go do podcasts and write books and stuff. And then now that it's big, he's like back.
Hey, we need you again, man.
Yeah.
We need you. Yeah. So I think, you know, it just goes into my curation side of things.
Yeah.
Right. Like where this is all thought out. This is
100%.
all talked about. This is all like they have this plan.
Which is scary because it's got to be something more than aliens are here. Like it can't just be that.
No.
There's no way. There's some deeper implication, whether it's spiritual. We're about to eat. I don't need that. Whether it's spiritual or whatever, like it can't just be, oh, we're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's it. We need to eat. I think we hit 2 hours. Again, Kinsley, Quex, Shelly's gone, old man Gen X. I mean, everyone. Even if you were quiet this whole time.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. That's a big part. We like to talk. We like to do this thing.
We are going to do the book review. We're not sure when yet, but we're going to do it.
Yeah, and it'll be a shorter. It won't be a 2-hour episode.
No,
it'll be something short
Probably
to
like
where
an
we
hour
can,
max.
where we can talk about things and talk about ideas. We don't need to do 2 hours, but yeah, we'll talk about it again. The book is in the Discord if you're there. And he was against it, but it's been okay. Like it's a little dry. It's a little communist, but like
yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that's not pertaining to the story is interesting.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of good shit in here that's not pertaining to the story. I don't mean the story is not interesting. I just mean to me, a lot of the shit that's not pertaining to is interesting.
And that's what got me with a lot of it. When it talks about Gulag Archipelago, the book, when it talks, I don't know if you haven't, but like the sheltering desert, the book,
yeah,
it talks about a lot of that stuff that's interesting. But yeah, again, thank you guys. We got to go stuff our face and hang out.
Get ridiculed for doing this.
Yep.
Yep.
We appreciate all of you. I mean, everyone's already leaving anyways. Thank you.
See you guys
later.